Hey guys, kinggath here, and in this video we're going to go over all of the items you can build from sim settlements that aren't plots. So many of you have probably found a random item or two that you had no idea what mod it came from, and it's possible it came from sim settlements. So I'm going to show you the different items that are available, but I'm going to show you within the settlement menu manager menu that's labeled as sim settlements. There you can see on my screen, if you have the mod settlement menu manager, it will add that in. If you don't have that, then these items will be scattered throughout your menus where appropriate, and I'll try and go over where they are as we get to each section. So the first one I'm going to show you is foundations. Now these will have two to start right here, and additional ones will be unlocked if you have the Industrial Revolution installed, and those will be the terraformers. So the foundations that come stock with sim settlements are the 2x2 wood foundation and the 2x2 concrete foundation. Now you might think that these are only for plots, and that is definitely not the case. They have tons of snap points on them, and you can use them for your general construction. With plots now, as of the, I believe the 3.5.1 patch or something in that area, you can get these foundations for free underneath of your plots via the ASAM sensor. You can spawn them in, but if you want to use these for general use, they are available under the foundations menu of sim settlements, or each of these is available under the floors for the appropriate type. So it would be under wood or under concrete. Next, we're going to go to the power poles. So now these are available in the vanilla menus under power connectors. So I believe it's power and then power connectors. And otherwise, they have a separate power menu in sim settlements. Now, what we started with these was to give you access to all of the different power poles that were used on the plot so that you could continue to match the aesthetic. And then we decided to add a few more various interesting ones we found within the creation kit so that you had some options. Some of them are a little crazy looking. So now what I want to focus on particularly here though is using these gigantic power poles. It can sometimes be difficult. So if you're not familiar with this, and I'm using a controller, so I'm going to talk about it from an Xbox perspective, but if you hold down the left bumper and the A at the same time, you can use your left thumbstick to move them up and down, and they are set to sink quite a ways into the ground so that you can get various height with these. Now, if you're on PC, instead of holding any buttons on your controller, you would hold the E key and then roll your mouse wheel up and down, and that will also move it up and down vertically. So that's a great way to make use of these gigantic power poles. But in general, these work just like the default power poles you would find in the game. You just highlight them, press your key to attach wire, and you can attach them to plots or anything else for that matter. All right, next up we've got the plot spacers. Now these originally made their debut in the Wedges of the Commonwealth mod, and I was given permission quite some time ago by PC Doug to basically take the math he figured out for all of these snap points, and then with the help of Ethrion, we recreated his work in a little more streamlined version. So these are much lower polygon than the ones in Wedges of the Commonwealth, and these essentially allow you to set up plots on angles. And I'll actually build a couple of these to show you how they can snap in nicely, especially when combined with our foundations, is that you can set these up so that the plots will end up at interesting angles to each other, and you can build some nice circular structures. And the snaps are obviously a little greedy, but as you can see, you can get some nice interesting angles, and it's especially cool when you start doing things in circles. You can do them in a circle around itself, or you can do a circle facing inward, and you can just get some interesting shapes with these different wedges. You can even do things like change the angles back and forth. So if I want to then shift this one back in that direction, and you can get some interesting shapes and kind of boardwalk things going on with those wedges. And then second to last, we will go to the stairs. So there's a whole bunch of different stairs, and the idea behind these was to simplify setting up plots where you didn't want to have to stand around and wait to find out what the building plan is, because certain building plans are going to have things blocking certain areas, and so then you have to kind of wait for it to build to see where the settlers are going to be able to path up. But with these gigantic stairs, you can be sure that no matter where the building is, your settlers will be able to make a path. Now, obviously, just like these foundations, you don't have to use these just for plots. You can use these for anything, but we made them the width of plots for the sake of making it exactly what I just described, making it easy to just place them down without having to know the building plan. And we've also got the slightly smaller versions, and these should have 3 snap points on the foundations, so you can snap them to the center or to the left or to the right. And so you could either pair 2 of those together or just use a single in the center, however you want to do it. And then these smaller ones also work well with the 1x1 Marshall plots. And then the last one that we skipped over, and this can be found, oh, and I skipped where these other 2 could be found. These can be found under wood floors, and then the stairs will be either concrete stairs or wood stairs, depending on the material they're made of. All right, so going back to the decoration section, these are, at the time of this recording, all that's here are these settlement flags. I'm going to show you how they work. If you're looking for these in the vanilla menus, they will be under decorations miscellaneous. And essentially what these do is these flags all get tied together to your city planner's desk. So I'm going to build a handful of different flags. And you'll see they're all the American flag, and and they start off invisible on your screen here, but you'll see why in just a moment here. So I'm going to build up a bunch of different flags here. So you can see they're all the American flag. Well, if you go to one of your city planner's desks and activate the little flag on the desk, and we're going to choose the Brotherhood of Steel here, and oh, I grabbed 2 there by accident, so it's gonna pick probably the second one. Okay, I went with Minutemen, and then oh, see, well, we just found a little bug in some settlements that I'll be fixing after this. It looks like it went with the Disciples flag, and apparently the Disciples wall flag just shows the Minutemen logo. But anyway, as you can see, it quickly swaps over all of those settlement flags to use that particular flag. So as long as you're using these settlement flags from some settlements to decorate anywhere you want to use flags throughout your settlement, anytime you update the one on the desk, it will update all of them in your settlement for you. And that also includes those flags that are on the Marshall plot poles. So it controls those as well. So you have a quick way to quickly switch the allegiance of your particular settlement by, when you're decorating with flags, using these ones from Sim Settlements, and then you can control them from your desk. Now I want to go back to the desk real quick and talk about one more thing with those. When you first access this, you likely will not have all of these options available. These options are unlocked through gameplay. So as you get friendly with these various factions and meet them, these options will become available. Now, if you want to get instant access to these, there is an option in the Sim Settlements holotape, and in the MCM menu, it will be in the same spot I'm just showing you in MCM, but under immersion, there's an ignore factions option. So if you turn that on, you'll no longer have to wait to meet factions in order to get certain things from Sim Settlements. Now, it will require you to save and reload the game before those options appear after you switch the ignore factions setting. But all those different flags are included with Sim Settlements, and there are a ton more available in various add-on packs. So definitely check out the Nexus if you're looking for even more flags to check out. Like, I know there's one that includes all of the Real Worlds flags, which is quite the gigantic set. All right, guys, I hope you found this interesting. There's a lot of cool stuff we've added to Sim Settlements that you may have not known had come from here, and we hope to add many more things in the future. All right, so stay tuned for additional tutorials as we'll continue to dig deeper and deeper into what all is inside of Sim Settlements.